Hey, it's Sandy with s.ranellearts. Today I'm doing a review of my M.Graham watercolors. I have already recorded the part of the swatch making and I have laid these out on my palette. My colors are Cadmium Yellow, Gamboge, Pyrrol Red, Quinacridone Rose, Sepia, Azo Green, Cobalt Teal, and Anthraquinone Blue, which I will probably have to refer to a few times. All right, I moved that off. Today's prompt in the nature series for the World Watercolor Group is leaves, and I was planning on doing a leaf swatch to test out my M.Graham watercolors, so it's like a bonus day. So today I will be working on that, and I am first going to do well, this is my swatch and it's in pencil, and I've drawn out some different leaves, and I kind of decided that I only have 8 of the M.Graham, so I'm going to do 8 of the pure color, and then the 4 on the ends are going to be a mixture. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this marked out. I'm using my 0.8 Micron, and I'll speed this up and be back when that's done. Let's get started. I am using my number 8 for the most part. I will be using my number 8 Grumbacher round. I used a 0.8 Micron for the leaves and a 0.4 for the lettering. Since I only have 8 tubes, the top 4 first 4 and the bottom first 4 are going to be the colors from the tube, and then the others 4 are going to be mixtures. I'm going to play around with some mixtures. So my first color is going to be the Cad Yellow. All right, the next one is the Gamboge, and I am doing a ginkgo on that one, and I forget what that one is called. I have some maple leaves in here. The ginkgo turns yellow in the fall, but I'm using the Gamboge, which is a little bit more orange. All right, my next one is Pyrrol Red on my maple leaf. I thought that would be fitting since they get beautifully red in the fall. And I missed a little pencil there. I'm working on Arches 140-pound cold press, and you can see that I lifted the mistakes there, and it just lifts out so beautifully. I'm a big fan of Arches. I have actually seen a few people who have said that they don't see the big deal, or it doesn't work well for them, but for me, if I can use the Arches, and this is the cold press. I did a video on I made this swatch myself. Not just drew it, but I mean I tore it from a larger 22 by 30 sheet And this is the decal edge that came, but then I tore to keep a torn edge, a decal edge. And I have a video of that and how much you can save by doing that yourself. All right, Quinacridone Rose. All right, I'm going down to the Sepia next, and I'll talk a little bit about the M.Graham watercolors while I'm doing this. They are made in Westland, Oregon, and I live in Portland, Oregon, and I don't know if that has anything to do with why they are so affordable, but they run in general about, I wouldn't say half the price of the Daniel Smith, but definitely I'm able to get them at my local store, which calls itself a discount store. It's right up the street, and they have a really good price. So for instance, the claim is for this is a series 3 Quinacridone Rose, and the claim is that it was $17.19, but I'm getting it for $10.35. That's series 3. Series 1, which is the Sepia, I paid $11.99 for at the Craft Warehouse, which is one of our craft stores. I don't know if it's nationwide or local, but in any case, that's series 1, which I believe is less expensive, and I paid more for it. So my discount store, I think, is a bargain, but compared to the Daniel Smith, I do think these are the 15. Okay, so for instance, this one is the 15 milliliter, 0.5 ounce, and I paid, like I said, $10.35 for that one, but the smaller 5 milliliter in one of the stores around here, could just be the store and the location might be a little bit more trendy, so they may be charging more, but for the Daniel Smith, I paid $10 for a 5 milliliter, so this is a third of the price, if I'm doing my math correctly. All right, there's the Sepia. I think some people say Sepia, Sepia. I don't know. I don't know what I say. I'm just saying it. Whatever comes out. All right, Azo Green. Now, Azo Green I bought specifically because Steve from the Mind of Watercolor channel said that it was one of his favorites for using, it's been a while since I've watched it, but I believe he said for mixing greens for his landscapes. And I thought, okay, well, I can start out. I think it was one of the first tubes that I bought, that and the Sepia, or some of the first colors that I bought, and in tubes, rather, not for palettes. And I think I'm going to do a little mixing with it. I think that was my plan, so we'll show how that works, hopefully. And it'll just be a real quick mixing video. I won't cover everything. All right, my next one is Cobalt Teal. And that I have found, if I'm not paying attention, I have a lot of aqua and cobalt blue and these types of colors. So I do use them for certain seascapes and water and things like that. But I don't think I realize quite how much of this color I have. So it's time to get busy and get using it. My next one is the Anthraquinone Blue. All right, and I think I saw someone recommend this blue as one of their favorite blues, and it's just beautiful. and they even recommended the M.Graham color. I'm not sure who else makes this color. I don't know much about the pigments, what's used to make this, but it is a beautiful blue. I seem to be starting off quite dark, so let's see if I can get a lighter wash in there and then work my way into the dark. The Daniel Smith watercolors have they're made in Westland, Oregon. They are made with honey, so they do not crack. If you were to put them in one of your pan for a palette, they're not supposed to crack. I haven't had any, like, you know, if they keep them on the palette. I haven't filled any pans with them, but I haven't had any issues with cracking. And the colors are bright and beautiful. It's a very high quality, as you probably can see from what I'm doing here. Put a little extra on that side. And they have such a nice selection up at the store. It's hard for me. It's literally an eighth of a mile up the block, and it's hard for me not to just take a walk up there once a week and buy myself something. All right, it's time for mixing. So let's start at the top. And this, I believe I'm doing cadmium and mixed with Quinacridone Rose. I like this cadmium yellow. It's a beautifully rich, dark yellow. And I use yellow undercoats for so many of my paintings that I do, especially in this nature series. And so it's really beautiful for that. I usually use lemon yellow, but I like this cadmium yellow too. All right, and then I'm mixing this with Quinacridone Rose. So I'll pull over some of this, and in keeping with the fall leaves and the fall colors, even though it is February and winter and 37 degrees outside, I wanted to do some oranges around here. So let me pick up just a touch more cad yellow. So yeah, it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. If you live outside the United States, we're the only people, I think, who still use Fahrenheit. It is it's 2.78 degrees Celsius, I believe, is what they said. And I think that's the conversion. And we've had 2 nights in a row of snow, but it's been getting warm enough during the day to melt. So, but our roads are just, can be so treacherous because we're not used to snow. In the Pacific Northwest, it really doesn't snow that much. So when we do get it, we feel very ill prepared. And they have put de-icer down, and they have put salt is our new thing now that the city is starting to, like, oh, should we use salt? I don't know. It's not necessarily good for the environment. But they're just, I think everybody's tired of the city shutting down because nobody can go to work. Like, my husband can work from home, but he's at work today. He rides his bike to work, and he rode in the snow, which is funny because I'm like, make sure you tell me you get there safely. Oh boy, I went kind of rose there. I'm going to try one thing, which is to take a little cad yellow and get some really strong, darker mix in there, but I didn't want to mix anymore. I don't feel like mixing anymore. All right, that's that orange. All right, now we're going to try the cadmium with the Pyrrol. So I'm going to take some cadmium over here, and then my Pyrrol red, and this is another orange, but it's a very different orange. So let's see how this one works. Well, I don't know. Is it that different? We shall see. Oh, my little neighbor. We live in a condo, and we have one set of family here that, well, that's not true. Actually, we have one set of, one family here that has elementary age children, and then the couple of new babies, new-ish babies, a brand new baby, and then another one, she might be about a year old. But you can hear my little neighbor out there. Okay, this is the with the rose and the cadmium yellow, and that is definitely a redder orange than the cadmium and the Pyrrol. I love that. Wow, that is, every time I do these, you can hear me rave about the oranges. I don't know why I love orange so much, but like I love pumpkins and I love fall, and oh, that's gorgeous. I love fall leaves. I like to paint them. All right, moving on. We are using, for this one, it looks like I have Cadmium Yellow and the Anthraquinone Blue. The cadmium's getting a workout. So I'm going to take a little Cad Yellow, mix it up. I can't tell if you can see my palette. I didn't really even look to see. No, you can't see my palette, but that's okay. Trust me, this is what I'm doing. And then I'm going in and getting some of the I don't know this word. Anthraquinone. So I'm going to call it Ant Blue, but it's Anthraquinone Blue. And we'll get some of the greens in here. This is one of those, I believe it's called a Monstera leaf. So that's the cadmium yellow with the Anthraquinone blue, the ant blue, and I tried to get some yellowish on this side, a little more yellow on the left side, and a little more blue on the right side. But I can see you can get definitely just a big variety of greens there. Put a little extra blue in, and those colors are nice, and I can see getting a lot of use out of those two together, so that's nice. All right, and then the last one I'm going to do, and then I'll go through and label these. I wanted to be sure that's what I was going to do, and shouldn't doubt myself because that's what I'm ending up doing. This one is going to be the Azo Green. So the Azo Green mixed with the Ant Blue, and let me get that going. So a few finishing touches on, let's see, that's the Quinacridone Rose. I want to come over here and just do a little playing around with that one. And this one I don't know, I was messing with the water and I didn't have the amounts right, so I made a little mess for myself. But overall, I think that this is where I want it to be. And these are really nice paints, and they are really nice for the money. I can't definitely say enough about that, but the colors are quite nice, and I actually want to go back in and do a second layer on a few of these. So I might do that and maybe either speed it up or not film it, and then show the end result at the end of this, because I just realized that those are really pretty, but I'd like to see what, if I can get them a little bit deeper. So these are my M.Grahams. Like I said, I have 8 of them, and I plan on getting more. So I would love it, anybody who watches this, for you to leave a recommendation of colors that you like of the M.Graham, so I can test them out and pick up a few more, because I'm really loving these paints, but I'm flying blind. I don't necessarily know what I am supposed to be getting, but I sure like what these did. I love this. I love that. I love this orange. This is amazing. And even this one, which is that's the all right, I'm going to end this now. I'm going to still play around a little bit, and I will either cut it short, or I will go ahead and post all of that when I'm done. And the last thing I think I'm going to do is put the colors in here, but you don't need to watch that, or I will speed that up. All right, that's the end of it. I'll keep messing with it and end up damaging it. So love, 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 love the colors. This one's a little odd. Not sure where I would use that or if I would use that. I kind of want to play a little bit more and see if that would be good, where that would be useful. This Gamboge is just on its own, just beautiful. And all right, there we go. That's my M.Graham selection so far. When I add to it, I will do another one. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and share.